Hi there, and welcome to the latest episode of Chip Shop Chat. I'm Stephen Lepitak, Executive Editor of The Drum, and I will be talking to some of the nominees, congratulations guys, from this year's Chip Shop Awards about the work that they've entered and just get a bit of background as to where the idea came from. The Chip Shop Awards are the creative awards with no rules and no boundaries, so that the industry is able to explore some of the ideas for clients that they perhaps don't have. So let me ask my guests to introduce themselves. Martin, could you start?
Yeah, sure. I'm Martin. I'm art director at Phantom. And we entered the work for Over Energy called Positive Energy. And the concept is a long copy ad, which basically functions as a love letter for little moments in our life we all enjoy. And the goal was to get people to think differently about energy. Normally, we think it's kind of an expense rather than a service which enables great experiences. For example, if you go to the supermarket, you can grab the soft drink you're going to buy, right? And if you turn on Netflix, your favorite show appears, but with electricity, it's a bit tricky. It's not really tangible. And when you think about electricity, it's usually in the circumstances of bills, and kind of we wanted to change that. And our approach basically lists all those heartwarming and sometimes nostalgic moments where electricity enables us those lovely moments, and get our audience to think about energy in a new way and a more positive way. And then as the copywriter can probably talk about it more in detail.
So we did this long copy ad. We did something which we didn't want to have it read on a screen, so it was like removed from electricity, but it was kind of about electricity. We wanted to find something that was relatable, like a relatable benefit of energy, and something which, because we found like advertising around this subject is sometimes quite cold and mechanical. We thought maybe if we gave it a bit of warmth, and then we thought we'll get like a collection of these sweet moments. Some are kind of we made up, and some are our own, and some of we got from people in the office, and we sort of wrote them, strung them together, and made them part of the ad.
Well, I was wondering that as well. Why choose an energy client? Is this something you guys work on quite often, or was it you found the brand and thought here's an idea for it? Dan, why did you choose this sector?
We thought we could inject a bit of life into it. You know, we think sometimes it's quite cold, but like everybody uses it all the time. You know, we thought we wanted to do something that was like a little bit challenging as well, because we don't think it's like the easiest thing to sell. Usually it's a bill really, you know, so let's try and make it like a bit more, inject a bit of life into it, I guess. Yeah. And also we're big fans of energy. We use energy every day.
Using it now. Martin, so when it comes to what you produced, the piece of work, do you think it has potential to actually be used in everyday circumstances, or would it have to change in some way? What do you make of the piece of work itself in terms of how it could work in reality?
I think generally speaking, in Chip Shop, we have a very wide range of stuff which is over the top and something is really clever. I think it is more in the category of being clever. I can see it happen out in the real world. In terms of what we should change, I leave it open to clients, because you automatically get restrictions how to work with a brand. But other than that, I think we made a good job in making an actual ad which could air. Yeah.
Well, one of the things I really enjoyed about it, I think it looks great, but also the copy is terrific. Dan, can you maybe give me a bit of insight as to how you wrote it? I mean, what was the process that you went through in terms of coming up with it?
That's nice of you to say. It was meant to feel kind of both like specific, but also kind of universal in a weird way. So we did like little interviews with people in our office and got their input, and kind of the way we did it was like we had people try and remember things which at the moment they may not have been so memorable. And very often that involved some appliance or other. And from that, we made like a little story out of each. And then when we kind of started writing them together, we created a little, I don't know what you'd call it, like a little story, I guess, one after the other, which kind of we felt flowed together quite nicely and fit the shape quite well as well, the way it was phrased. So yeah.
Yeah, I think altogether it's just a really nice piece of work. Now, I will say up front, I do not know the winners this year, so I can't tell you whether or not it's won or not. So don't get your hopes too high just in case. But I do think it's really terrific. So congratulations on the nomination. But before we finish, I'd like to get your some words of advice from you both from the last few months in lockdown. Have you found new ways of working, or kind of learned anything new about the creative process that you would share with our audience, that maybe you would offer words of advice to them? Martin, do you have anything that you would share?
Sure. So from personal experience, there are quite obvious tips that you have to be really active in terms of working with people. So you can't just go over to the next desk and ask your employee. It's not really possible. You have to be really active on that side. But on a more personal note, what I experienced is you should also know when to stop. And it's kind of this feeling in lockdown, you have so much time there, right? And you have to fill it, and you have to be productive every day. And then you sometimes forget, especially on weekends and long nights, that you should just take off your time. And starting personal project is amazing, and you should do this even before lockdown. But in a situation like that, it can become tricky because you should do normal stuff as well. So don't feel bad if you are not productive 100% all the time.
It's good to hear that. And Dan, what about yourself?
Yeah, I would say remember to brush your teeth, get dressed, pull your socks up. Don't work in your bed. And like try and I mean, for me at least, I want to try and separate like my home life from my work life. I feel like if I'm still stewing in my pajamas from the day before, then I'm somehow less productive. It's all psychological.
Yeah, mental health is very important. So good advice. Well, we'll be finding out the winners of the award soon. Hopefully I see both your names on there. Good luck to you both, and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you to you, the viewer, for joining yet in our Chip Shop chat. The awards will be announced on thedrum.com very soon, so keep an eye out for that. There will be a ceremony happening where you will be able to join, so details to come soon. Take care.